Right, this one's called Dole Psychology. I wrote it after reading about proposals the Tories made before the election, which are now going to be introduced. They're fucking horrific. They're dark as... very dark. It's about pushing benefit claimants into compulsory counselling. It's all dressed up to make it look like they give a shit about people's mental health, and it's not. Like I said, it's just dark and sinister. So it's partly about that, partly about signing on in Bradford for the year before I was a teacher, just as workfare was being introduced. Those days merged into one long stretch of grey. I was returning to familiar paths to find they were paved not with pain but a concerning inability to retain the necessary formative learning experiences, you know, those balanced, intensely happy and deeply sad things. But it was just empty. The things they once contained, they now failed to. They didn't feel like the place I grew up. Death cold numbing grey. Man, not even like pins and needles, that's too much sensation. It was like being enveloped in an uncomfortable feeling as blood returns afterwards. You know, when the affected limb feels detached from everything. And I was unable to reattach myself to anything because I couldn't get the work, to get the money, to fucking do anything. So my memory of this time is one of fear, and it's not that positive one, yeah? Not the one sharpened by adrenaline that burns your fingertips and brings clarity to your vision. Not that driving, ecstatic fear you get, leaping in on a new phase with joyous, reckless abandon. It was a fucking staring match with nothing. 10 years since I lived at home, and although there was lots of people there that I cared about and that cared about me, at no point in my life have I felt that alone. And that's what they fucking wanted when they got elected in 2010, to put us out on our own, make us think that that solidarity, community, that sense of togetherness wasn't there. Pushing home that line of Thatcher's, there's no such thing as society. Thankfully I found out it's not true. I got a job and I'm in a better place. But day after day, people are going through the same conversations I did for a year. In pastel shade and jackboot surroundings, they wear those stuck-on smiles me and my job advisor did. We would both awkwardly attempt to leave the bad blood of previous appointments in the erstwhile. First fortnightly, then weekly, bi-weekly job searches filed, we filled file after fucking file after file. And I tell you what, those Formica grins, well, they only take a short while to slip into constipated jaw-set expressions. Teeth grind on both sides of that desk, and why wouldn't they? Two forces brought head to head with utterly unattainable goals. You know what, I'm pretty sure I can say IDS, Ian Duncan Smith is screw turning and layering on a stress. It gave me fucking anxiety, depression and IDS. Whilst that reptile gutter scum fuck ate 3 free £39 breakfasts, he piloted his best gags in Bradford. Or chose similar cities, yeah, where unemployment was high, places he could get his blade sharpened and his techniques mastered. Near enough 10 years working in bars and restaurants, 9 months signing on, looking for jobs, I finally got an interview. It went well, I even wore a suit. Well, Mr. Roberts, we're interested in you. In fact, the job's yours if we're honest. You can work for 2 weeks, then collect your wages next time you sign on. Sorry, what? Total amount, £52.52. Fucking £52.50 what? Sign on. So, divide by benefits by 30, that ends up working out as £1.73 per hour for a full working week. Okay, so I shouldn't moan, because as I said, I'm in a better place, I got friends, I was lucky. I also have family who helped me. I talk about feeling cold and dead, but between them, then, now and me, I've got somewhere I'm happy. I also had the advantage that before the cuts it wasn't hard to get CBT. Bradford had excellent mental health services. Yeah, and I got taught how to order my thoughts properly, learn the warning signs of things getting out of control and on top of me, but now people don't have that luxury. Lots of people don't have the friends and family, and they certainly don't have those lifelines that I had anymore. So, with all the cost cutting, you know, reduction of public spending, it took me a moment to cognate. To understand what I could see when I realised they're now spending money making sure that if you claim JSA, in-house counselling will be compulsory. Oh, fuck no, not provided by the NHS, it will be ATOS Mark II. Claimants forced into a long drawn-out verbal lobotomy and persuaded that they are the cause of their unemployment, not the government, and certainly not the economy. You know what? I can visualise it now. Staff trained and paid as customer service agents, sourced from agencies, no unions or conditions, making decisions not on the purchases of customers, but on the health of patients. And in doing a job they're not trained for, they'll be fucking up their own heads as much as they're fucking up the patients. Because you know what? Treatment, it must be consensual. And this will amount to torture because nobody's going to be asked. People will not be talked to. They'll be talked at. It is a matter of compliance. And in many cases, it will quite simply be do or die. So I risk breaking Godwin's law here. I hope you can see that it's not a total and complete comparison I'm going to draw. But IDS did utter those words. Work makes you free. Arbeit macht frei. Where have we seen those before? Okay, no, it's not a crypto-fascist conspiracy. He is just a fuckwit who with his tongue is as clumsy as I am with my feet. But still, undoubtedly, this is one of the darkest, most sinister examples of his government's policy. Morality of the workhouse welded to the politics of technocracy. Modern day time and motion studies redressed as psychology. It is like Charlie Chaplin in that factory. Except this time, they're not cranking us to increase productivity. The profit comes from an industry that feeds off jobless, impoverished agony. This is capitalism reaching its lowest, most cannibalistic savagery.